Today's lesson is about group communication and presentations, and we're going to focus on leadership responsibilities as a member of a group. So, a lot of the time in your future workplace, you might be assigned to a team to work together with a group of coworkers on a specified project, or it might be a consistent long running team that you have to consistently work on regular projects together. So today we're going to focus on the different leadership responsibilities, whether you are a formal elected leader of that team or whether it's just informal and you kind of take on some leadership responsibilities and roles as a member of the group. So there's different advantages of groups, and our previous introductory assignment before spring break was for you to compare and contrast the pros and cons of groups. And the majority of you all said that groups are better because you can get more work done. But there were a few people who really despised groups for the fact that not everybody pulls their weight. And that's an understandable issue that people wouldn't like working in groups for. But there are definitely advantages for using groups within the workplace because you're able to definitely analyze problems at a deeper level rather than just seeing it for the surface. You have a bunch of different people breaking down a particular problem, trying to find a solution together, and they might all have different perspectives, obviously revealing more solutions to that problem. Um, Also, more ideas, like I was already mentioned, you have a lot more solutions put on the table when you have several different people approaching the problem together, trying to work towards a solution. Also, it can improve group morale. Having several people together, like constantly building each other up and being supportive and offering supportive um, words of encouragement to the team members can definitely help with the morale. And then increase productivity. So if you have somebody that is making sure you're being accountable, holding up your responsibilities, carrying your weight as a member of the group, it definitely can help and make sure that all of the group members are being productive and putting their best work forward. Also, just as a last piece, leaders in the business industry have come to realize that the advantages of using groups far outweighs the disadvantages. So when you get into the workplace, you are definitely going to see your um, people in charge of you may be asking you to work with a team of people on a particular project. And I can tell you from experience that if you plan to go to business school, you definitely will be required to work in groups on group projects, as well as your last capstone class. You have to do a big group project together. So it's really embedded within the business field. Other fields, maybe not so much, but definitely for sure, any kind of business related career that you hope to go into would definitely take advantage of group work. So when it comes to problem solving, it's best when you're developing a problem solving group that you try to stick around 5 to 7 people. Any more than that, it starts to get too hectic, too busy. Any less than that, maybe you're not as effective in finding a solution. So it's best to stick around 5 to 7 people. You're able to have small group conversations and really have meaningful interactions to ultimately find a solution. And typical things that you can see problem solving groups developed for are maybe a business wants to see a progress report put together of how they've done over the last year or the quarter, or a sales presentation. Maybe you and a group of people are trying to go out and acquire new clients or customers, or you're trying to bring on a new supplier, somebody trying to invest in your business. You have to put together a sales presentation to sell your business to that audience. as well as proposals. Maybe you're putting together a proposal to spend money to do some new upgrades in the business, or you're trying to propose a new product idea launch. You might work together in a group to develop that type of presentation. And then staff reports. So just reporting to the staff about possible changes, things like that. All right, so leadership, the focus of our lesson today. The definition of leadership is a process whereby an individual influences a group of individuals to achieve a common goal. So there's two types of leaders. Obviously, you have formal leaders who are either designated by the group or they're actually elected as the leader of the group. So they're going to be in charge running the show. Or you also have informal leaders among the group where you don't necessarily elect somebody to lead, but people's personalities and their personal characteristics come to light and they naturally just help and begin to lead the group in different ways. Leadership is also just a set of communication functions performed by different group members at various times based on people's strengths and expertise. So maybe in the beginning, you're kind of just getting a feel for the group and seeing the direction that they're going. And later on, once you have a clear picture of the flow and the direction that your all solution is taking, then you step up and really take on a leadership role to bring your problem solving to a close and find a solution to the problem for your group. Within leadership, there's different types of leadership roles. And different people can assume these roles, or one person can assume all of these roles. But a role is just the specific behavior that that group member is performing to help address the needs of the group throughout your problem solving process. There are task leadership roles, procedural roles, and maintenance roles. So we're going to dig into each of those. So task leadership roles are those roles where you help the group acquire, process, or apply information that contributes directly to completing a task or goal. Task leaders are good at finding pertinent research related to the goal and sharing it with the group. So they're the ones that are going out and doing the Google searches or gathering research and study information of people who have had this problem in the past and how they went about solving the problem. And they're gathering that information and bringing it back to the group. They're also really good at summarizing group discussions in a way that pulls the discussions toward the group goal so that you're not getting off track. Procedural leadership roles, those provide a logistical support and record the group's decisions and accomplishments. So they're usually good at arranging a time and place for face-to-face meetings or setting up links for access to Zoom meetings or video conferences. And they may also be good at taking notes and keeping track of group decisions. So they're very really organized and the paper and pen type of person, keeping records of everything that's being accomplished within the group. And then you have your maintenance leadership roles. These are people that help the group to develop and maintain cohesion, so that connectedness, as well as commitment and positive working relationships. Kind of like the peacemaker of the group. The maintenance leader is good at encouraging others to share ideas and praising them for sharing them, as well as intervening when conflict is threatening to harm the group process. So, again, they're just those peacemakers among the group to keep the cohesion and positive working environment so that you can continue to work and problem solve towards a solution. All right, this is the final slide. So when it comes to leadership, you have something called synergy, and this is when a group works really well together. And synergy can occur when all the members are following these 5 shared leadership responsibilities. So the 5 leadership responsibilities as a member of a group is everybody needs to be committed to the group goal. So make sure your group goal is clear and effectively communicated to everybody so that they too can be committed to it. If they're not committed to the goal, then they're most likely not going to be effective in helping you all reach a solution. Also, they have a responsibility to keep discussions on track, not getting sidetracked and talking about other unrelated topics, because it's only going to slow you down and um, put you further away from reaching a solution in a timely manner. They have a responsibility to complete their individual assignments on time. So a lot of the time you're going to break up works to lessen the burden on one particular person. So you're going to split up and delegate the work evenly, and you need to make sure that each group member is completing their responsibility and assignments on time so that you can continue working towards your goal again in a timely manner. A lot of these group projects or problem solving groups have certain deadlines, and if people aren't pulling their weight and doing their part in a timely manner, then it's only going to delay you reaching your solution. Fourth, each member needs to be encouraged to give input to the group. If they're not contributing input and sharing their ideas, then it's really like they're just a warm body in the room. They're not contributing anything to reaching the goals or a solution to the problem that you all are running after. And finally, they help manage conflict among the members. So anytime people start to really butt heads or experience serious conflict with one another, everybody works to diffuse the situation, calm everybody down, and again, refocus, keeping that cohesion and positive work environment so that you can continue to work towards finding that solution that your group is working toward.